Would love to hear how you evaluate efficiency on offense for all the coaches watching this. I was talking to a coordinator recently, talked about points per play is like their most important metric now, or is it, what do you view as a successful first, second, and third down? Just would love to hear some of those thoughts when you evaluate it.
Real quick, before we get back to the podcast, I got to tell you guys about our new sponsor, Ekrin Athletics, man. Ekrin is one of my favorite products I have ever tried, one of my favorite sponsors of this podcast. Their new percussion massager is elite. The Kestrel percussion massager just launched, and it is their best massage gun yet. And I've tried a lot of these guns. There are several upgrades over their previous guns, which were already considered among the best available. This massager is extremely powerful, and it gives a deep tissue massage. Its angled handle design makes it easier to get to more areas, and the scrolling wheel makes it easy to adjust while you're using it. It has 6 speeds and 6 attachments, so you can really tailor it to your needs and to your muscle group you're targeting. I wish I had this when I was playing. I probably would have avoided some injuries, been more ready to play on game day, and recovered faster. Best part, I have a promo code for all of you to try Ekrin and their new massage gun. Use promo code NEXTUP for 25% off all orders on Ekrin Athletics. That's promo code NEXTUP for 25% off all orders. And guys, supporting our sponsors helps me a ton. So go support Ekrin Athletics. Use that promo code NEXTUP for 25% off your orders.
I think the efficiency, first off, like when you talk about goals, you're asking about what metrics do you measure to try to show that you're going to win. And because that's really what we're trying to do. I think offense and defense can sometimes be different, because offensively we're trying to manage the game so that we can win. And when you have the ball, the way that you attack and manage the game can sometimes be different than a defense that's simply just trying to stop them. Don't let them score. On offense, depending on what the situation is and what's happening, you attack the defense accordingly. But for us, we really focus on a few things. Certainly turnover margin, historically speaking, everybody knows the importance of that. And so we talk about the turnover. We call it the win ratio, the difference in your turnover margin and your explosive play margin. We focus on that as a team, and so easiest way to explain that is if you're in the game and however many explosive plays the opponent has offensively, we have to match that and exceed that in order to try to win the game. Same thing as far as turnovers. And so we focus on that. Like I said, we call that the win ratio. The other metrics that we look at, whether it's points per possession or yards per pass attempt or yards per rush, certainly we look at that to try to see areas that we can improve on. But I think touchdowns in the red zone matter. I think explosive plays matter, and I think turnover margin matters. If you take care of the ball, if you create explosive plays, you got to finish and score touchdowns in the red zone. And so we spend a ton of time on that. We have one of the metrics within those 3 things, we call it the 12% rule, and essentially you're eliminating bad football. You take your total number of plays and divide it by sacks, TFLs, drops, penalties. And you want that number to be under 12%. And when you do that, typically speaking, you're going to play winning football because you're going to be efficient. You're going to stay ahead of the chains. You're going to stay out of third and long. But I know that's a long answer to a short question. But if you really narrowed it down to the 3 things that we think matters the most, I think your turnover margin, your explosive play margin, and I think scoring touchdowns in the red zone. If you do those 3 things, you're going to score enough points to win the game, and that's really what we're focusing on.